All these people talk about trading and flipping NFTs for profit. You see crypto Twitter, everybody's a millionaire, and it just seems like you're missing out. You're overwhelmed with all of the information that's available, and you just feel like you're not learning fast enough, and the flipping NFT opportunity is going to fade and become harder as more people come into the space. If this is you, I'm going to be covering 13 NFT flipping tips to help you become a more consistent NFT trader. Dance on the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can get more behind the scenes and more advice on NFTs and in crypto in general. Warning, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is meant to be construed as investment advice. NFTs are risky. When I first jumped into NFTs a couple months ago, it felt like I was running downhill trying to figure it out as I go. And to be honest, it still feels that way. But I'm a little older, I'm a little wiser now that it's been 3 months. And so what I'm going to be sharing are tips that have helped me be consistently profitable over the last 3 months. Part of it's due to luck, and then the rest is due to consistent learning and hard work. NFTs are not a get-rich-quick scheme, so please approach this like trading any other asset with caution and good risk management. So tip 1, this is my overall belief about the NFT market. I believe that 99% of NFT projects will not be here over the long term. You want to look at every NFT project like a business or a brand. And what we know about businesses is most businesses fail even with great teams. NFTs are no different. So I approach NFTs like a short-term swing trader or a day trader, unless I believe in the project long-term, because I believe it's too risky to hold 99% of the NFTs long-term. And to be honest, I can count on one hand the projects I would hold long-term right now, as long as I got them at a great price. And this is across different types of NFT assets as well, from NFT land, NFT gaming, and also NFT artwork, PFP projects, from those different projects as well. So it just depends. But if you can get in at a good price, some of those can still be a good long-term hold as long as it's a blue chip project. But still, I'm still wary. I'm still concerned because I still believe that 99% of NFT projects are not going to be here for the long term. Next, you always want to be aware of the overall crypto market because it affects NFTs. During the down cycles, more projects won't sell out because people are more hesitant, they're scared to buy, and you would look at the overall NFT market volume. Is the trading volume on OpenSea decreasing in general? Does it look like a lot of projects are not selling out? What is the general sentiment of NFTs? And then you can always check NFT chat rooms when you're trying to get whitelisted. You can also see what people are saying on Twitter, and then also what types of NFT content is being created on YouTube and on TikTok. And go on dune.xyz to get more trading data, and then go on OpenSea itself, and then just look at the percentages across the board of the different projects and how they're selling. The next thing is on the macro scale is, did Bitcoin or Ethereum go on a major run upwards? When Bitcoin and Ethereum go on a run, liquidity is usually sucked out of the room, and then NFTs start to bleed a little bit. NFTs, like crypto or stocks, tend to follow the same cycles. They're based on two main emotions: fear and greed. I'll be ultra selective of the NFT projects that I get into, and I'll only select premium projects to get into that have a high chance of success, because a lot of people are not going to be getting into the market, and a lot of people are not buying at that point. So tip number 4 is understanding the basics of economic supply and demand. You would want to go back to economics class and then look at that supply and demand chart, where this is going to be demand, this is going to be supply. You just want to understand the basic mechanics, all things considered. There's going to be a lot of variables, so it's not going to be that black and white, but it'll give you an idea of how projects will potentially do. Remember that supply has the opposite effect on price. So when supply increases, it decreases the price. But then when supply decreases, it increases price, given that the demand stays the same. So demand has an identical effect on price. When demand increases, it increases the price, and then when demand decreases, it decreases the price, given that the supply stays the same. So just learn how to do these basic supply and demand estimation. You can get an idea for the different projects that you're in and how it's going to affect price and price potential. Next is collect and get as many NFT whitelist or pre-sale spots to as many projects as you can. Whitelist or pre-sale is basically just a term that guarantees your spot to mint or get an NFT early, usually before the NFT is sold to the public. And then so requirements for whitelist are going to differ from project to project, with the most common being just being active, giving back to the community, or just winning contests or giveaways. Being on a whitelist has many benefits, like lowering your mint price, getting the guaranteed NFT, saving gas transaction fees, and the ability to sell your whitelisted NFT before the public sale. Just try to get on as many whitelists as possible to potentially good NFT projects, and then assess if you want to mint when the whitelist mint becomes available to you. Six is an NFT project needs to sell out for it to be a good flip, and if it doesn't initially sell out, it's not a good sign for the project in the short term, and usually for the long term. Always ask the team if they have a plan for what to do if it doesn't sell out, and if the team doesn't have a plan, that's usually a red flag to me. I'll still mint if the demand and the numbers look like it's going to overwhelmingly sell out. But I always want to consider what is going to happen if this project does not sell out. It is a deal breaker for me if a project is not going to sell out. I just do not get in the project. And for a project to sell out, it needs to be a hyped project, which brings me to tip number 7. What do I consider a hyped project? So there's a few factors I'm going to be looking at. So checking that they have great community engagement within their communication channels like Discord and Telegram. And then also, do they have existing social media brand evangelists, because they're a company that has already existed. Adidas coming in or Budweiser coming in, and they have an already established brand and loyal following and audience that will want to collect and buy these NFTs. Does the project and the team have great marketing? The other thing I'm looking at with social media is, do they have high social media engagement on non-giveaway content? It's important that's a non-giveaway content, because usually giveaway content brings a lot of people and it overinflates the numbers because everybody wants free stuff. I'm looking for amazing engagement on recent posts. So it could be any of the recent posts within like the last few weeks. That is around 1% like to follow ratio. So you want to divide the number of likes divided by the number of followers that they have to get that ratio. And then for me to get into a project, it needs to be at least above 0.1% like to follower ratio engagement for me to even consider it. It could be any of these posts. I want to look for at least a 1% comment to like ratio, with 5 to 10% being great and anything above 10% being amazing. So here you want to look at the likes, and then you want to divide that by the comments. So if they got 1,000 likes and then they got 10 comments, you're gonna divide 10 divided by the likes, which is 1,000, and then you'll get that percentage score. So I want to look for at least 1% and looking for anything to be above 5%. I will place less of importance on those above metrics. There's a high volume on secondary sales, because it shows high demand and it shows that people are willing to buy on the secondary marketplace from the whitelisted people who are selling pre-reveal. Pre-reveal just means that we're waiting for our NFTs to get our attributes to see if our rarities, and it's still at that pre-reveal image. And then at this point, secondary sales are coming in before the team releases the data, and then we figure out what our NFT is and the rarity. Next, I'll also check if the pre-public floor is higher than the whitelisted mint. So what this means is that right before, say that we're in whitelisted mint. That means everybody who has a whitelist can mint the NFT. What I'll be seeing is that usually there's going to be people who are flipping these whitelisted NFTs already and selling them on a secondary marketplace like OpenSea. If right before it's available for the public to mint. Usually what happens at this point is it'll show the demand of how many people are willing to buy it at pre-public, and the higher the price means that people believe that this NFT will sell higher, or they believe it's worth this much at this point, and they're willing to pay for that amount. These are all signs that show great demand for a project and also the likelihood for that project to sell out. And it gives you an idea of your potential profit margins for entering and exiting this project as well. So those are all things that I look for to see that it's going to be a hyped project. 99% of projects, their price is going to dump after the NFT is revealed. Unless there's major news like being bought out by a major brand, like how Artifact got acquired by Nike. And then even then, the floor price of pre-revealed Artifact vials, which is you had a vial and then you could submit the vial to get an NFT. Those vials shot up to 10 to 11 ETH after the Nike announcement. Tip number 9, you want to learn to identify when to cut your losses and exit out of your NFTs. You're going to make bad trades. It's a matter of when, not if. So an example for this for me was Nano. Bought this on secondary on OpenSea for 1.66 ETH. Before the Dutch auction happened, because I believe the demand of the project will place it around 2 ETH. Unfortunately, the auction sold at 1.33 ultimately. That's where it sold out. And I wanted to cut my loss at 1.5 ETH before the auction got there, but I waited too long. And then during pre-reveal, I wanted to see if there was demand, except it only kept trading around 1.4 ETH. I got a little bit greedy. I also mistimed the reveal because we see that most projects don't post reveal, but I thought the time that it was going to reveal was going to be at a later time, and I was completely wrong. So I didn't get a rare. The project began to tank faster, so I took a loss at 0.89 before it dipped even further. And then because I woke up and then I was like, okay, this is tanking. I can't wait any longer. There's not going to be any news. I don't think there's anything else that's going to pump to drop the price more. I'm just gonna sell at this price right now before it gets any lower. And luckily I did, because it did go down to 0.6 ETH. So just be able to cut your losses, swallow your pride, and know to get out of losing trades, because the longer that it loses and the longer that you hold, the less opportunity that you have to be in a winning trade later. Tip 10, always calculate your gas fees and royalties to determine your profit. So you may be selling on a secondary marketplace like OpenSea at 1 ETH, but if you don't check the royalties, there could be 10% royalties. You also have a service fee. Say that you also paid 0.02 to mint, and then you also paid another 0.01 to list it on OpenSea. So if you bought this on secondary at 0.9, it looks like you're making 0.1 ETH, but you're actually taking a loss of 0.03 after gas and fees. So always factor your gas and fees to know your actual profit. 11, there's a lot of scams inside crypto and NFTs. So triple check all the links you're clicking on. Assume that everyone's scamming you. Use a hardware wallet to store your NFTs, and also have a burner wallet that has enough to mint the NFTs just in case that one gets hacked or compromised, so you don't lose your entire NFT collection. I have a video on general crypto and NFT safety, so just check that out right here. 12, and this is probably one of the most important tips and can determine your success on just this tip alone, is join an NFT alpha group. This is just a group that could be either paid or free, where people come together and they share information and research. And alpha is just getting information first. It's just research. And alpha in the financial space is your return on your investment. Paid or free works, but what matters most is getting access to an exclusive group and a community of smart NFT traders that you can learn from. I recommend getting into a paid group if you still have enough money to keep trading NFTs afterwards. A bonus with these NFT groups is that A lot of them are given whitelist spots for their community, so it can be easier to get whitelisted opportunities. The quote, "Your net worth is your network," applies heavily in these NFT alpha groups because you get to follow smart money and traders and learn from them directly. I can't stress this enough. This is one of the tips that attributed to 80-90% of my recent successes currently. Join an alpha group when you can, and then you can always ladder up into better alpha groups as you start to make more money and make better NFT trades. Last and not least is tip number 13. As an NFT trader, stay liquid. And what staying liquid means is having enough ETH or cryptocurrency or cash to be able to get into the next opportunity, even if it means taking a loss on your trades or selling some of the trades that you need for your medium, or just being able to sell some of the things that you're sitting on to be able to get into the next opportunity. NFTs move extremely fast, with new opportunities popping up nearly every day and sometimes multiple times a day depending on where the market is. If you're sitting on too many long-term holds, you're going to be missing out on these opportunities of big companies coming in, of companies acquiring other companies, of NFT gaming land sales, of all of these different opportunities if you're only holding these NFTs. And it's being an NFT investor is fine. This video is more about being an NFT flipper and being liquid enough to take advantage of those opportunities. So always remain liquid and have a good portion of your portfolio staying liquid or being able to sell so that you can get into more NFT opportunities. Those are the 13 NFT flipping trading tips that have helped me become a consistent NFT trader. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel to get more behind the scenes NFT flipping and trading content. As always, take care, talk soon, and I'll see you in the next video.